Hello Pisces, welcome to your weekly horoscope between Monday the 10th of June and Sunday the 16th of June 2024. So, hello my loves. Wow, this is a really powerful, potent time for you Pisces. We have a huge T-square that's happening this week at the beginning between Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th house, the moon in Leo in your 6th house, and Mars, who's just moved into Taurus in your 3rd house. So what that means basically is that you are undergoing a major upgrade in your lifestyle, in your environment, in your dreams, in your fantasies, in what it is that you want to be, Pisces. It feels like you guys are really going through this like push to actually get shit done, to get shit out, to get shit moving, to get shit going. Mars in your 3rd house now is kind of a little bit all over the show. Mars doesn't like to be in Taurus, but with it being in your 3rd house and in this T-square with Pluto and the moon at the start of the week, 12th and 6th house, it really is, this is all mutable for you. So it's about you being in an energy of change and embracing change, and you actually being able to like take change by the horns and accept that it's here and that it's time for you to really be building your daily life into the dream, into the true ultimate reality that you are trying to build. You are literally like a baby that's being reborn. You have Saturn in the 1st house, Pisces, and it's making major squares this week to the Sun. Well, the Sun and Mercury is making major squares to Saturn this week. So that's between your 4th house and your 1st house. So I feel like at the moment you guys are undergoing this like break away from who you were growing up, break away from your family, breaking away from the roots and from, you know, who you always sort of thought yourself to be. I feel like this is a week of like waking up to, wow, I am like literally, I never would have thought that this is the type of person I am, but here I am. This is the type of person I am, and I fucking love it. This is gonna be a really powerful opposition this week between the moon and Neptune as the moon moves into your 7th house in Virgo. So that coming up is really going to be an intense push and pull between your identity, who you think you are, and the relationships that you're currently, a part of and that you're experiencing. It feels like for you guys with the squares between the 1st and the 4th and the opposition that's going to be happening between the 7th and your 1st, it really is about you and how you are nurturing and nourishing and taking care of yourself and relationships, and how you're allowing yourself to be. I think that you're changing up the way that you've been acting in your relationships. I feel like there's this, with the moon hitting Lilith as it makes this opposition to Neptune, it definitely feels as though this week there's this energy coming up where you could be a little bit stuck when it comes to communicating effectively. It could be difficult to get your point across, but it does feel as though it's a time for you to be sort of dropping your shields is what I'm hearing. Like dropping your shields and being open and being honest and being as sort of vulnerable with your partners and being as authentic and in integrity with them as much as you can be, because the Neptune brings the fog. And so that the end of this week, it's going to feel a bit like intense with how your emotions might be feeling just like a little under the weather. Your emotions might be feeling a little bit like, oh, or it's just like having a strange sort of, it's like this energy of having like a weird, what do I call it? Just like a weird experience with a partner or a friend or a co-worker, or just having something sort of strange that just sort of like opens the door to this confusion. And I feel like this confusion is really around why your relationships always kind of like, or not always, but why your relationships have taken certain turns in the past, why your relationships have had certain sort of dark energies to them. You know, you have the South Node in Libra in your 8th house, so it's not really a time for you to be getting really, really crazy deep with, you know, your partners and things like that. It's mostly about you at the moment, focusing on what it is that you're trying to create and build, because you are building like a new life for yourself, Pisces, and it's different, and it's not about the relationships at the moment. It's about what you're here to build and create and how you've grown from, you know, Saturn being in your sign means that you guys are growing up and you're maturing. No matter what age you are, Saturn being in your sign will do the growing up shit. You know, it's not like being fully in your Saturn return, but it is being very much influenced by Daddy Saturn. So Daddy Saturn is kind of saying, we have a mission, we have a dream, we have a goal, we have something that we're looking to achieve. And with the squares to the 4th house, it's almost like you're needing to be emotionally nurtured, emotionally stable in order to do that. We have Father coming out with the Samaritan archetype. Bottom of the deck is Avenger. Light attributes is desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Shadow attribute is resorting to violence in the name of a cause. So you with this Pluto in Aquarius, 12th house, T-square between the 3rd house and the 6th house is definitely like you having a career and you having a work and a service in life that feels like it is here to help. Like with the Avenger, you know, you guys are here to sort of take care of those people that feel like, you know, they're forgotten in life, especially with the Samaritan. The light attribute is refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. So it's about you being in an energy of just serving other people for the joy of serving, not for what you're going to get out of it, not for what you can receive out of it, but actually just giving and serving and helping people out and being there for people and, you know, being this sort of like beautiful light beam in yourself. That is actually helping to serve other people. I feel like you guys are like, you know, helping people through the madness, through helping yourself through the madness and inspiring them along the way. So much in your 4th house is saying that there's a real need to be emotionally grounded and stable. We have the Father archetype coming out that says light attributes, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. The shadow attributes is dictatorial control and abuse of authority. And that's the thing. I feel like you guys are here to avenge that sort of shit. Like the last thing that you guys can stand, because you're so compassionate, is, you know, people being shat on. You are the type of person who will come in and avenge those who feel like they have been forgotten. And so Pisces, this is definitely a week for you to be in your sort of powerful energy. This square with Pluto between your 3rd house and your 12th house and the 6th house is saying that you have this like leadership quality and this ability to write, to create. Your voice is very powerful. Your creation's very strong. You're a very powerful person. But with Pluto being in the 12th house, there is that sort of mental uncertainty, that mental anxiety and losses in the past that maybe make you feel like you can't sort of push forward in the present. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck coming out for you guys. So you are definitely reaching for something, and I feel like there's a level of uncertainty as to whether you will actually receive it. You got a lot of cards. We have the 4 of Pentacles and the King of Cups coming out. So this is about setting emotional boundaries and keeping some things to yourself. I'm seeing this 4 of Pentacles not as a bad thing, but as an emotional healing thing, you know, setting boundaries with your emotions, keeping your heart sort of like, you know, sometimes we need to be keeping our heart to ourselves and we need to be nurturing and working on ourselves because we are, you know, in such a fragile sort of energy. We have the Chariot coming out with the Hierophant in reverse and the Knight of Wands. So this is definitely you being inspired this week and you being energized and excited and feeling like you're hearing the call. The call has definitely been sounded, for sure. Especially this Pluto T-square with the Moon and Mars has been the call. You've been called into your service work now. So it's time to start moving towards what it is that you're meant to be here doing on this planet, which is the Chariot, you know, taking charge and going for the thing. Knight of Wands is about having fun and being at a creative, playful, fun, like authentic energy. I'm hearing she had style, she had flair, she was there. That's how she became the nanny. I feel like your style is definitely something that's changing up with the Sun and Mercury and Venus having just made that square over to Saturn. and the Cazimis that just happened. I feel like you are kind of wanting to change up your aesthetic. Maybe you're growing into a mature way of presenting yourself online, but a mature way of presenting yourself to your family even. This is setting those boundaries and sort of growing into being more of an adult when it comes to your emotions and how you're taking care of yourself and how you're interacting with your family and all that stuff. It's funny because like we can be so old, and yet the second we're actually with our family, that's when all like the trigger stuff starts coming up, and we start, you know, kind of acting like not children, but like, you know, we have similar experiences come up that we had when we were kids. You know, there's those childhood emotions are reactivated, and that could definitely come up for you this week. We have Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. So there's no need to be arguing with anybody about you being in the right and them being in the right. You know, it's just, with Mars being your third house, it definitely could be fights and arguments with siblings coming up, or just people in your environment, neighbors even. So it's just like, this autumn, release the old and rest. Don't be so, with this Mars in the third house, don't be like feeling like you need to like, you know, jump on people verbally and attack people verbally and like, you know, just speak your truth and speak your mind. There's nothing wrong with that, but with these major T-squares, you could just be unleashing subconscious shit without even realizing that you're unleashing subconscious shit, you know, and it's not even so much on them, it's actually on you and the stuff that you've repressed and held back. So just keep in mind of that. We also have the Prince archetype out here that says romantic charm and potential for power. Shadow attribute is using power for self-aggrandizement. So it definitely is a time for you to be more in this like charming energy, to be sweet and, you know, not so I mean, this Avenger is like an intense energy, but it's like, it's not so much like with this Mars, it's like push and force, and that's not the energy of Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus is about a slow grind, it's about a slow build, it's about seeing the value of what is actually potentially able to happen for you, you know? It's moving at things in a slower pace and not needing everything to happen so quickly. So with these major T-squares, this major T-square, it really is a time for you to breathe into your ability to sort of move forward in a way that isn't so erratic. I feel like there's an erraticness that's been coming up, and with Mars in your third house and with Uranus, you could definitely be a little bit erratic. And so with Saturn being in your first house and these squares to the fourth, mentally and emotionally calming the farm, Nine of Wands, setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and not being in, you know, going down the route of anxiety and uncertainty is going to be everything this week. It's a time for collaboration. We have Six of Wands with the Three of Pentacles. So it's a time to connect and collaborate and to talk to your friends, talk to your family, you know, talk to your neighbors without being like overwhelmingly like, ah! We have the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So it is you very much coming into your own self-worth power this week. And with the North Node and Chiron being in your second house, and the Moon that's going to be making some lovely trines and sextiles to the North and South Node this week, it's definitely you having some beautiful breakthroughs in your self-worth and seeing yourself and seeing how the way you treat yourself on a daily basis is actually, you know, that's where the success is. It's treating yourself with the love and respect that you deserve, and other people treating you like that. If you treat yourself like shit, other people are going to treat you like shit. You know, if you're not able to value your own stuff, if you're not respecting yourself, then you cannot expect other people to respect you. It's as simple as that. Anyway, Pisces, I'm going to leave that reading here. You can probably tell that my throat is absolutely done talking. I love you guys. If you resonated with this, please do give it a thumbs up, because it really helps to spread these readings to more beautiful Pisces souls. If you would like to leave a little bit of feedback, if you want to let me know any suggestions for future videos, anything like that, please do let me know in the comments down below. If you would like to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me, you can do that as well through the link in my description. I would like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments, for allowing me to receive and to deliver these messages for you. I thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you check out your channeled song as well as your other placements, and I will see you next week, Pisces. Peace.